Today, we're taking a trip back in time, way back. We're going inside a silent stone gallery that held one of humanity's first true masterpieces, hidden from the entire world for over 30,000 years. This is the incredible story of Chauvet Cave and how its discovery totally upended what we thought we knew about our ancient ancestors.
And you know, it all started with something so small you could barely even feel it. A tiny, faint draft of air, coming out of a little hole in a limestone cliff in southeastern France. That little whisper of air, it was the key that unlocked a perfectly preserved prehistoric world. So who was it that actually followed that feeling? We're heading to the Ardèche region, where a simple moment of human curiosity led to, truly one of the greatest archaeological finds of the entire 20th century. Okay, so picture this. It's December 18th, 1994. Three cave explorers, Eliette, Christian, and Jean-Marie, they decide to check out that draft. They had to squeeze through this super narrow passage, and suddenly they were in a world that no human had seen for thousands and thousands of years. On their first trip in, they found these incredible chambers, full of mineral formations and old animal bones. But it was when they came back and pushed even deeper that they found the real treasure, a whole gallery filled with these stunning paintings of lions. And we're not talking about a few simple stick figures here. No. What they found was a full-blown masterpiece gallery. The art was so sophisticated, so powerful, it would literally challenge everything we thought we knew about the minds of our earliest ancestors.
Inside, they found hundreds of animals painted on the walls. But here's what makes Chauvet so incredibly unique. It's the focus on dangerous predators. Look at this. An entire pride of cave lions is stalking across the wall, drawn in charcoal. That's almost unheard of for Ice Age art, which usually focuses on animals they hunted, like bison and horses.
And then there's this, a herd of woolly rhinos. Just look at the detail, the sense of motion. These two right at the front, they look like they're actually butting horns, caught in a moment of conflict. This isn't just a portrait of an animal. This is a scene. It's a whole story playing out on the wall. The artists also had this incredible mastery of their canvas, the cave itself. They didn't just draw on a flat surface. No, they used the natural bumps and curves of the wall to give their drawings this amazing three-dimensional quality and a real sense of movement. You can almost feel these deer running right across the rock.
So, how in the world did they pull this off? Well, their techniques were just unbelievably advanced. They would actually scrape the walls clean first to create a fresh, light canvas to work on. They etched around the figures to make them pop out from the stone. And like we just saw, they created these dynamic scenes, which was a huge innovation. This wasn't primitive stuff. This was the work of absolute masters.
So as you can imagine, the sheer quality of the art immediately kicked off a massive scientific debate. It just seemed, well, too good to be as old as the first tests were saying. It would be like finding a perfectly painted Rembrandt inside a Roman ruin. It just didn't make sense.
The whole debate really came down to two conflicting pieces of evidence. On one side, you had hard science. Radiocarbon dating of the charcoal used for the drawings pointed to an absolutely mind-blowing age, around 32,000 years old. But on the other side, you had art historians and archaeologists saying, no way, the style was just too advanced. It looked much more like art from 18,000 years ago. So which one was it? All right, so solving this prehistoric puzzle took a massive scientific effort. It meant using a whole bunch of different methods to build a case and prove beyond any doubt just how incredibly ancient this cave really was. And the evidence just kept piling up. By 1999, they had more carbon dating that confirmed those early dates. Then, in 2012, came the real game changer. Geologists proved that the cave entrance had been completely sealed shut by a massive rockfall about 29,000 years ago. That meant nothing got in or out after that point. By 2016, a huge study of over 250 samples refined the timeline even more. And by 2020, with updated models, the oldest art was pushed back to an unbelievable 36,500 years old. That rockfall really was the key to the whole puzzle. Because it sealed the entrance, it turned Chauvet Cave into a perfect time capsule. It was basically hermetically sealed, protecting everything inside from the outside world for almost 30,000 years. And because it was preserved so perfectly, the cave gives us so much more than just the art. It's an unbelievably clear snapshot of an entire Ice Age world and the ecosystem that existed back then. You can see the human evidence everywhere. You see it right here in the art itself, made with red ochre and charcoal. This includes these really unique paintings of leopards. See how their spots were made by someone dabbing paint with the palm of their hand? Amazing. But when you look down at the cave floor, wow, that tells an even richer story. There are paw prints and these huge scooped-out nests where extinct cave bears used to sleep. There are skulls, smoke stains on the ceiling from the torches our ancestors used to see, and something that's just so moving, the actual footprints of a child who seems to have been walking alongside a wolf, perfectly preserved for tens of thousands of years.
So when you find something this monumental, this fragile, it comes with a huge responsibility. How on earth do you protect an environment that's been perfectly stable for over 29,000 years?
And the answer, which is honestly pretty tragic, is that you have to keep people out. Scientists learned this the hard way from other famous caves, like Lascaux. There, the breath and the body heat from thousands of tourists actually caused mold to grow, and it permanently damaged those ancient paintings. To make sure that never, ever happened here, Chauvet has been sealed to the public since the day it was found. But here's the brilliant part. They came up with an incredible solution. In 2015, a perfect replica opened right nearby. It's called the Chauvet-Pont-d'Arc, and it's the largest, most faithful cave recreation ever built. They reproduce the art and the environment down to the smallest detail. So visitors can actually experience the same silence, the same darkness, the cool air, and get a real sense of the original without ever putting it in danger.
Just think about it. We are the first people in nearly 30,000 years to even see this art. It survived the Ice Age, sealed up in perfect darkness. The challenge for us, as its new guardians, is to make sure this human masterpiece survives for 30,000 more.